The Mongol Empire launched several invasions into the Indian subcontinent from 1221 to 1327, with many of the later raids made by the unruly Karanis of Mongol origin. The Mongols subjugated Kashmir as a vassal state and occupied parts of modern Pakistan and parts of Punjab for decades. As the Mongols progressed into the Indian hinterland and reached the outskirts of Delhi, the Delhi Sultanate led a campaign against him in which the Mongol army inflicted huge losses on the rival army, but were beaten back nonetheless. The Mughal Empire founded by Babur, however, successfully conquered most of the Indian subcontinent in the 16th and the 17th centuries. Background: after pursuing Jalaladin into India from Samarkand and defeating him at the Battle of Indus in 1221, Genghis Khan sent two Tumans under commanders Dorbe the Fierce and Bala to continue the chase. The Mongol commander Bala chased Jalaladin throughout the Punjab region and attacked outlying towns like Berar and Multan, and had even sacked the outskirts of Lahore. Jalaladin regrouped, forming a small army from survivors of the battle, and sought an alliance, or even an asylum, with the Turkic rulers of Delhi Sultanate, but was turned down. Jalaladin fought against the local rulers in the Punjab, and usually defeated them in the open but could not occupy their lands. At last he proposed an alliance with the Kokar chieftain of the Salt Range and married his daughter. The Kokar-raised son joined Jalaladin's army along with his clansmen and received the title of Khalid Khan. Jalaladin's soldiers were under his officers Uzbek Pari and Hasan Kal. Kokar tribe of Punjab was in alliance with Mongols during their invasion of India. While fighting against the local governor of Sindh, Jalaladin heard of an uprising in the Kerman province of southern Iran, and he immediately set out for that place, passing through southern Balochistan on the way. Jalaladin was also joined by forces from Ghor and Peshawar, including members of the Khilji, Turkoman, and Gori tribes. With his new allies he marched on Ghazni and defeated a Mongol division under Turte, which had been assigned the task of hunting him down. The victorious allies quarreled over the division of the captured booty. Subsequently the Khilji, Turkoman, and Gori tribesmen deserted Jalaladin and returned to Peshawar. By this time Ogedai Khan, third son of Genghis Khan, had become Great Khan of the Mongol Empire. A Mongol general named Chorma Khan sent by the Khan attacked and defeated him, thus ending the Khwarizm Shah dynasty. Mongol conquest of Kashmir and conflicts with the Delhi Sultanate. Sometime after 1235 another Mongol force invaded Kashmir, stationing a Darfachi there for several years, and Kashmir became a Mongolian dependency. Around the same time, a Kashmiri Buddhist master, Otochi, and his brother Namo arrived at the court of Ogedai. Another Mongol general named Pakshak attacked Peshawar and defeated the army of tribes who had deserted Jalaladin but were still a threat to the Mongols. These men, mostly Khiljis, escaped to Multan and were recruited into the army of the Delhi Sultanate. In winter 1241 a Mongol force invaded the Indus Valley and besieged Lahore. However, on December 30, 1241, the Mongols under Mungati butchered the town before withdrawing from the Delhi Sultanate. At the same time the Great Khan Ogedai died. The Kashmiris revolted in 1254 to 1255, and Monka Khan, who became Great Khan in 1251, appointed his generals, Sali and Takuda, to replace the court and appointed the Buddhist master, Otochi, as Daragachi of Kashmir. However, the Kashmiri king killed Otochi at Srinagar. Sali invaded Kashmir, killing the king, and put down the rebellion, after which the country remained subject to the Mongol Empire for many years. The Delhi prince, Jalaluddin Masood, travelled to the Mongol capital at Karakoram to seek the assistance of Monka Khan in seizing the throne from his elder brother in 1248. When Monka was crowned as Great Khan, Jalaladin Masud attended the ceremony and asked for help from Monka. Monka ordered Salih to assist him to recover his ancestral realm. Salih made successive attacks on Multan and Lahore. Sham al-Din Muhammad Khat, the client Malik of Herat, accompanied the Mongols. Jalal al-Din was installed as client ruler of Lahore, Khuja and Sodra. In 1257 the governor of Sindh offered his entire province to Hulagu Khan, Monk's brother, and sought Mongol protection from his overlord in Delhi. Hulagu led a strong force under Salih Bahadur into Sindh. In the winter of 1257 beginning of 1258, Salih Noyan entered Sindh in strength and dismantled the fortifications of Multan. His forces may also have invested the island fortress of Bakhar on the Indus. But Hulagu refused to sanction a grand invasion of the Delhi Sultanate, and a few years later diplomatic correspondence between the two rulers confirmed the growing desire for peace. Hulagu had many other areas of conquest to take care of in Syria and southwestern Asia. Large-scale Mongol invasions of India ceased, and the Delhi Sultans used the respite to recover the frontier towns like Multan, Uch, and Lahore, and to punish the local Ranas in Ray who had joined hands with either the Khwarazm or the Mongol invaders. Large numbers of tribes that took shelter in the Delhi Sultanate as a result of the Mongol invasions changed the balance of power in North India. The Khilji tribe usurped power from the older Delhi Sultans and began to rapidly project their power into other parts of India. At about this time the Mongol raids into India were also renewed. The Chagatai Mongols vs. Delhi Sultanate. The Tushar sources claim invasions by hundreds of thousands of Mongols, numbers approximating the size of the entire cavalry armies of the Mongol realms of Central Asia or the Middle East, about 150,000 men. Account of the Mongol commanders named in the sources as participating in the various invasions might give a better indication of the numbers involved, as these commanders probably led Tumans units nominally of 10,000 men. These invasions were led by either various descendants of Genghis Khan or by Mongol divisional commanders. The size of such armies was always between 10,000 - 30,000 cavalry, although the chroniclers of Delhi exaggerated the number to 100,000 - 200,000 cavalry. After civil war broke out in the Mongol Empire in the 1260s, the Chagatai Khanate controlled Central Asia, and its leader since the 1280s was Duwar Khan, who was second in command of Kaidu Khan. Duwar was active in Afghanistan, and attempted to extend Mongol rule into India. Negudari governor Abdullah, who was a son of Chagatai Khan's great-grandson, invaded Punjab with his force in 1292, but their advance guard under Ufu was defeated and taken prisoner by the Khalji Sultan. The 4,000 Mongol captives of the advance guard converted to Islam and came to live in Delhi as new Muslims. The suburb they lived in was appropriately named Mogulpura. Chagatai Tumans were beaten by the Delhi Sultanate several times in 1296 to 1297. The Mongols thereafter repeatedly invaded northern India. On at least two occasions, they came in strength. The two armies met at Jalandhar in 1297. Zafar Khan defeated the Mongols in this first invasion. During Mongol incursions in 1298, a mixed Turk-Mongol army fought against the Rajput kings. The Mongols quarreled with the Turk commander and killed his brother in an argument over the distribution of captured wealth. The wives and children of these Mongols were treated with ferocious cruelty, and they escaped to the forts of the Rajputs. In this year the Mongols were also saw actions against Alaruddin Khilji again by invading Sindh and capturing Siwastan fortress. The Mongols attacked again under the command of Saldi and captured the fort at Siri. Zafar Khan, holding the honor of being one of the few undefeated military commanders in history, had no problem crushing this army. Once again they defeated by Zafar Khan. He recaptured the fort and brought 2,000 Mongol prisoners before Alaeddin Khilji shortly afterward. Duwar Khan sought to end the ongoing conflict with the Yuan Khagan Timur ul-Jitu, and around 1304 a general peace among the Mongol Khanates was declared, bringing an end to the conflict between the Yuan dynasty and Western Khanates that had lasted for the better part of a half-century. Soon after, he proposed a joint Mongol attack on India, but the campaign did not materialize. Late Mongol invasions. In 1299, against advice, Delhi Sultan Alaeddin Khilji attacked the Mongols. The advance guard of the Khilji army was led by Zafar Khan himself. He defeated the Mongols in pursuit of them as they withdrew. However, the Mongol general Qilu Quadra tricked Zafar into a position where he was surrounded and killed by the Mongols. However, in face of Alaeddin Khilji's continued offensives, they had to retreat to the heights from where they had come. The Mongols took a long time to rally from this setback. Then they attacked at the worst time possible for Alaeddin Khilji, when he was busy laying siege to Chitta. This time the Mongols traveled light. An army of 12,000 under Taghi's leadership moved to Delhi in a swift attack. Many governors could not send their troops to Delhi in time. Alaeddin Khilji was forced to retreat to Siri for about 2 months. The Mongols attacked and pillaged not only the surrounding areas but Delhi itself. Alaeddin Khilji continued to hold the fortress at Siri. Taghi withdrew the siege after a few months and left the area. Barani, a contemporary historian at that time, attributed this marvel to the prayers of the Sufi mystic Sheikh Nizamuddin Aulia. Alaeddin Khilji had the forts along the border strengthened and equipped with larger garrisons. New, more effective fortifications were built in the area. A whole new army with its own special governor was created whose portfolio was managing and guarding the border areas. Despite these measures, the Mongols under the leadership of Ali Began Tartik suddenly appeared in Punjab and the neighborhood of Amritsar. The Mongols plundered Punjab and burnt everything along the way. Alaeddin Khilji sent a strong army led by 2 of his toughest generals, Ghazi Malik and the famous Malik Kafur, to engage the invaders. They surprised the Mongols on their way back to Central Asia with their plunder. At the Battle of Amritsar, Kubik and other Mongol generals were captured and brought back to Siri, along with other prisoners. Alaeddin Khilji had the generals trampled to death by elephants while the other prisoners were put to death and their heads hung from the walls of the fort. The Mongols returned under the leadership of Kubik, who became a Khan later in 1306. They crossed the Indus River near Multan and were moving towards the Himalayas, when Ghazi Malik, governor of Punjab, intercepted them. About 50,000 Mongols were made prisoners, including one of their generals. Alaeddin Khilji put them all to death and sold their wives and children as slaves. The last Mongol invasion of this period took place in 1307–8 under Iqbal Mand and Taibu. They had just about managed to cross the Indus when Alaeddin Khilji's armies overtook them and put them all to the sword. In that same year the Mongol Khan, Duwar, died, and in the dispute over his succession this spate of Mongol raids into India ended. Alaeddin Khilji was an original thinker and brilliant as a strategist. He sent plundering armies under the veteran General Ghazi Malik to Kandahar, Ghazni and Kabul. These offensives effectively crippled the Mongol line of control leading to India. After besieging and taking Sawana, Jalore, and Warangal, the Indian army, led by the Alaeddin Khilji Indian slave commander Malik Kafur, invaded Meerut from Devagiri in 1311. They returned with immense amounts of gold and other booty. After the Mongol commander Abachi tried to kill Kafur, Alaeddin had him executed. Believing that thousands of Mongols who were captives and later converted into Islam in Delhi were conspiring to kill him, the Sultan ordered all Mongols arrested, and about 20,000 were reported to have been executed. The court of Delhi also executed emissaries of Uljachu, the Ilkhan of Mongol Persia. In 1320 the Karanas under Zulju entered Kashmir by the Jhelum Valley without meeting any serious resistance. The Kashmiri king, Suhadeva, tried to persuade Zulju to withdraw by paying a large ransom. After he failed to organize resistance, Suhadeva fled to Kashmir, leaving the people of Kashmir to the mercy of Zulju. The Mongols burned the dwellings, massacred the men and made women and children slaves. Only refugees under Ramachandra, commander-in-chief of the king, in the fort of La remained safe. The invaders continued to pillage for 8 months until the commencement of winter. When Zulju was departing via Brinal, he lost most of his men and prisoners due to a severe snowfall in Devazar district. The next major Mongol invasion took place after the Khiljis had been replaced by the Tughlaq dynasty in the Sultanate. In 1327 the Chagatai Mongols under Timur, who had sent envoys to Delhi to negotiate peace the previous year, sacked the frontier towns of Lamgan and Multan, and besieged Delhi. The Tughlaq ruler paid a large ransom to spare his sultanate from further ravages. Muhammad bin Tughlaq asked the Ilkhan Abu Said to form an alliance against Timur, who had invaded Khorasan, but an attack didn't materialize. Timur was a Buddhist who later converted to Islam. Religious tensions in the Chagatai Khanate were a divisive factor among the Mongols. No more large-scale invasions or even raids took place in India. By this time, the Mongol attempt to conquer India had finally ended in failure. However, small groups of Mongol adventurers hired out their swords to the many local powers in the northwest. Amir Khazahan raided northern India with his Narunas. He also sent several thousand troops to aid the Delhi Sultan Muhammad bin Tughlaq in suppressing the rebellion in his country in 1350. Timur and Babur, the Delhi Sultans, had developed cordial relations with the Yuan dynasty in Mongolia and China, and the Ilkhanate in Persia and the Middle East. Around 1338, Sultan Muhammad bin Tughlaq of the Delhi Sultanate appointed Moroccan traveller Ibn Battuta an ambassador to the Yuan court under Tufan Timur. The gifts he was to take included 200 slaves. The Chagatai Khanate had split up by this time, and an ambitious Mongol Turk chieftain named Timur had brought Central Asia and the regions beyond under his control. He followed the twin policies of imperialism and Islamization, shifting various Mongol tribes to different parts of his empire and giving primacy to the Turkic people in his own army. Timur also reinforced the Islamic faith over the Chagatai Khanate and gave primacy to the laws of the Quran over Genghis Khan's shamanist laws. He invaded India in 1398 to make war and plunder the wealth of the country. Timur's empire broke up and his descendants failed to hold on to Central Asia, which split up into numerous principalities. One of the products of such a marriage was Babur, founder of the Mughal Empire. His mother belonged to the family of the Mongol Khans of Tashkent. Babur was a true descendant of Timur and shared his beliefs. He believed that rules and regulations of Genghis Khan were deficient, as he remarked. They had no divine authority, even though his own mother was a Mongol. Babur was not very fond of the Mongol race and wrote a stinging verse in his autobiography. Were the Moguls an angel race, it would be bad, even write in gold. The Mughal name would be bad. When Babur occupied Kabul and began invading the Indian subcontinent, he was called a Mughal like all the earlier invaders from the Chagatai Khanate. Even the invasion of Timur had been considered a Mongol invasion, since the Mongols had ruled over Central Asia for so long and had given their name to its people. Both Timur and Babur continued the military system of Genghis Khan. One part of this system was the name Ordu, used for the collective of tents that formed the military camp. It was now pronounced Urdu. In all their campaigns in India, the Mughal camp was called the Urdu, and this word became current in the languages of the various soldiers that formed the body of this camp. In time, these Indian and foreign languages mingled together in the Urdu, and a new language of that name was born. This language of the military camp survived in some of the North Indian cities after the fall of the Mughal Empire. The Urdu that passed through all these centuries of political changes ultimately became the language of poetry, of music, and of other forms of cultural expression. Today it is recognized as one of the languages of Pakistan and modern India. Bibliography. Harold Lamb, Genghis Khan, Emperor of All Men. ISBN 0-88411-798-7. René Grousset, Empire of Steppes, Rutgers Univ PR, New Jersey, USA, 1988. ISBN 0-8135-1304-9. John Masson Smith, Jr., Mongol Armies and Indian Campaigns, University of California, Berkeley. Cholmakhan Noyan, The First Mongol Military Governor in the Middle East by Timothy May. Further reading. J.A. Boyle, The Mongol Commanders in Afghanistan and India according to the Tabaqat-i-Naziri of Justjani, Central Asiatic Journal 9. 235–247, reprinted in the Mongol World Empire, 1206–1370, edited by John A. Boyle, Variorum reprints, 1977. Peter Jackson, Delhi Sultanate, A Political and Military History, Cambridge University Press, 1999. ISBN 0-521-40477-0.